Whilst in Vietnam, we were sent on into various areas, but we concentrated on an area not far from the base camp at Nui Dat, around the long high hills. And sometimes we would be there for a few days or would run into weeks. Well, while serving in Vietnam, my uniform consisted of just the baggy greens, green trousers and green shirt, a long sleeve shirt, which we had to button down, of course, of an evening because of the mosquitoes. We were issued with a helmet, which I never used. We had a green bush hat, special boots and sweatbands. We had to carry all our supplies with us because we're out on patrol or operations for maybe more than 2 or 3 days, up to weeks. So during our military operations, I would carry an M60 machine gun with belts of ammunition crisscrossed over my shoulders. I'd usually have a couple of hand grenades strapped to my belt with extra ammunition. A backpack with food, limited bedding and supplies would also be carried. People often ask me about the food and what sort of rations did you have when you were in Vietnam. So until such time as a cookhouse was established under 10 flies joined together, we lived on army ration packs, and the ration packs were disgusting, but we had to eat. When in base camp, we received cooked meals all the time, and on American rations, we received corn on the menu 3 times a day, every single day. So the food in general from the Americans was much sweeter than what I had been used to. So we all sent home for Vegemite, curry and other bits and pieces to mix with our food. Mail was an extremely important part of our well-being. So when we were able to get back into base camp and they did the mail run, or handed out the mail, it was, as you can imagine, the most important time for any of us to read what was going on at home, and especially catching up with family news. I recall being overwhelmed to receive a letter from my twin brother, who had now commenced his 2 years national service training, and was somewhat relieved that his 2 years was to be spent in Australia only. I did not want him to experience the horror times that I had been experiencing, and being on edge 24 hours a day for 300 plus days. So my mail, when possible, back to my family, only included positive things that were happening with no mention of the fighting. The canteen that we'd set up at our base camp, it was just a tent fly initially. Whilst we're in base camp, we were allowed 2 cans per man per day of beer. We could have as many cigarettes as we liked. In fact, they issued us with cigarettes in our ration packs. Hence, I have emphysema today. However, the cost of a packet of cigarettes for 20 cigarettes was 15 cents, and a can of beer was also 15 cents. But we had a lot of fun times at the canteen when we just discussed the day's activities, or if we'd been out for a while, we'd just wind down from where we'd been, and if we'd lost anyone, we'd always raise a drink for those that we lost and that type of thing. And of course, we had entertainment. We acquired a movie projector from somewhere, I don't know where it come from, and we had a guy that used to run these pictures once in a blue moon, so we just get our fold-up chairs and we sit outside and amongst the rubber plantation, and we knock down a few trees to make sure we could all see. Every now and then we'd have a movie, and very rarely did we see the whole movie because it'd either break down, the film would break, a lot of hooing and hissing and whatever going on. But anyway, it was good fun, it was good entertainment. And also, every now and then, entertainers would come from Australia. And I recall quite vividly the archaic type stage that we had to set up for our entertainers in that very first year. In latter years, they built an actual stage, which they called Luscombe Bowl. It was after I'd been there. But when I was there, they just had like the back of a semi-trailer with a tarp over it, and a tent behind there for change rooms for the artists. But that really brought great joy to the troops, and we thoroughly enjoyed any sort of entertainment that come our way.